Greetings, Robin.
Greetings, Roland.
What is this here? What we see here?
What you see here is actually an old satellite dish which has been transformed to focus the light of the sun to a focal point here, which will centralize, which will focus all the heat here. So basically, in short, it can boil water. It can you can cook with it. So it's a solar cooker, to call it in short. And it's great what you can do, because all it is just some aluminium foil, an old satellite dish, and a little construction of metal around. And once you have sun, you have heat. And if you have heat, you can actually have energy. And you can even use this, if you cleverly convert it, you can even convert it to electricity. Because boiling water moves, and moving water can move a turbine.
And it happens very fast, eh? For it were only just a few seconds before it was hot already.
Yes.
The plateau there.
Exactly, and I live here now for 4 months, and basically even in the winter, in the cold winter, and we are living in a climate where the sun doesn't have as much strength compared to when you go down to the equator. But still, even in the winter, when you put here a pot, the winter sun is strong enough to boil water, and at least strong enough to heat something. And this is just a small dish, so I can imagine if you would make it long, or if you use a bigger dish, you could actually focus a lot more light and a lot more heat. So these are some of the examples where there is a lot of free energy around.
Free energy.
We don't have to extract or exploit energy from one place or steal, but realize that there's a lot in the air.
And you don't have to pay for it also.
No. But we should also be grateful and careful that we are not using or exploiting or manipulating, but actually we are sharing energy.
Yeah.
And this is why we are here at PPauw, because this is actually a small eco-village. It's a mobile eco-village which has been started about a year ago, and the purpose of PPauw, to summarize it, is to demonstrate how in the fringes of society, in the places that we call rubbish. This was an old hospital which has been vacant for 12 years, and in the fringes of society, in the places where people do not see a lot of value, we can actually reconnect to adding value and demonstrating how to live in a sustainable way with nature. With nature, and the with nature is the most important part.
And Robin, you just told me about the energy supply of that little vehicle there.
Yes.
There. Can you tell me something about that? I saw 4 kind of bicycles, like fitness bicycles or something.
Yes.
It also does provide energy.
Yes. Any movement provides energy, and this is the initiator, the founder of this eco-village is also an artist, so he thinks of creative ways of combining recreation and generate energy. So let's say you are sitting at a bar, you're having your drink, so if we could have a party here, we could all sit here, and while we're having our drink or talking or chatting, you can generate.
And you provide energy for the music, for the sound, or
for the music and for the sound, exactly. So this is a mobile sound system.
Mobile sound system.
And, yeah, there are also a lot of other things. Like he also has a display which shows how much energy you're using. So you could compete and see
who is providing the most energy.
Exactly. So
for the party.
Exactly. So you can make it a game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
on the roof. These are solar panels.
On the roof are solar panels, and we are a community currently of 5 core people living here. We don't use very highly intensive energy things such as a water cooker or a microwave. So we're careful how we use our energy, and we all use very light-saving like LED lamps, which use a lot less energy. And those 4 solar panels actually generate maybe twice as much energy than we need for 5 people to live here on a permanent basis. That kind of shows how easy it is to live off the grid. Of course, it doesn't mean that we also need to realize that we need to change our way of life, that we don't need to live so exuberantly and so elaborately and so consumer based, in the sense that we can live more without using as much energy. So a change of lifestyle can allow you to live off the free energy which is around. So yeah, that is that in short.
Are you paying to live here?
No, this is actually because it was a vacant area. It has been we have squatted it, and the thing is that the idea is not to squat this place and say, look, we have the right to stay in a place, and we try to conquer it, and we try to stay here and go in a battle against the community and the different stakeholders. But actually, what we try to do here is to make a relationship, to demonstrate, to use this place for the community, to show that there are different ways of living which can be more sustainable. And meanwhile, we offer a haven where people can reconnect to nature, which is so much needed in this society. So there's a lot of symbolism as you see around you. You see a lot of old ruins, and if you look careful, like even in the place where you're standing, you find that between these ruins, life is growing. Between these stones and between these fixed boxes and rows of systems that we have created, life will continue to grow. So just as we walked today, you can see that whether we like it or not, life will continue. The question is, what is our relationship with life? And can we live in reverence and in bewilderment of the beauty of life whilst exchanging? So we can stimulate life. And later you can show us, we're going to show you that there's a lot of, there's a street here with a lot of stones, and these have actually limited many of the trees to grow. So we had an event, a festival, which allowed for all the people from the community. We had music, we had food, and we had all kinds of activities. At the same time, we had work, and the work was to remove all the stones so that the trees can finally spread their roots and grow, because you can see the condition of some of the trees was not very well. So we don't have to separate ourselves from nature. We can actually even give a helping hand to nature, rather than only beholding the beauty of nature or separating ourselves from it. And so you'll see a lot of small things, like over there's a chicken tractor, and that is basically the chickens are one of the best plowers, natural plowers of the soil. They plow the soil and they prepare the soil as well, removing all the seeds and making it loose, so that it can be used later for planting new things. So what happens is that the chickens plow within their cage, and then if we move the cage, then they plow next area and the next area. So every week or so the cage is moved, and after a while the whole place is prepared for planting.
So it also sounds like besides no bills, also less work, because the chickens are doing the work for you now. Nature is also providing in these kind of situations.
Yes, it's actually very interesting to go to look for cooperations between animals, because this is what they love doing. This is their natural habitat, and you gain a lot more respect for this animal, because this animal is working for you, but at the same time working for itself, and therefore serving the community. So it becomes, you get a mutual respect, rather than seeing this chicken as only a piece of meat to eat or to give us eggs, but this is the labor, and this is actually a community member. And This is why I actually feel they should also be a lot more free and walk around. But yeah, there's no one who can do it like them. You know, if you see them, particularly this one is very good.
The white one.
The white one. She has a technique of like some sort of karate kick where she goes forward and then does a quick bend like this, and it's amazing because you see that they're made for this. They are made for plowing. You know, that's their so they love doing this. And in fact now as well, we give them food, but you can see now what she wants. She wants to leave. There's food. She doesn't want food. There's already food there, but she wants to move around. So you can see the desire of nature.
To work on the next field.
Yeah, and particularly this one is very fanatic, as you can see.
Yeah,
and you have to realize that life has they're individuals as well, and they recognize us as individuals. So after a while, when I walk from there, the chickens can already recognize me and they already start coming forward. Well, they might not do that with someone else. So
intelligent creatures.
Yes.
Can you say that also for of the trees and the flowers? Are they that intelligent also? Do you got experiences with this? That even the trees or the flowers recognize you?
Well, this is something that you have to listen to your heart when it comes to these things, and you listen to your feeling. Just like love is something that you cannot see, but everyone knows it exists and everyone feels it exists, and no one can lie about its existence, and we live off it. Same way, when I live here, I feel. I remember in the beginning, it felt like everyone was still checking me out. All the trees, the trees, and all the life here, and there are a lot of animals. There's foxes, and there's a lot of birds and things like that. And after showing that you are here in service of, and you're a guest, so you come in, hello, and you introduce yourself spiritually. You know? So you introduce yourself spiritually, and you kind of show who you are, and you show that you're not coming there to destroy, and you open your heart to listen to the messages of the trees and the wind. Then I started to feel at home. Even in the darkness at night here when I'm alone, I actually feel very, very comfortable because I don't feel at home. I mean, I don't feel alone. And I don't feel like, I feel like I'm surrounded by a family of all these trees. So
you're a rich man, Robin.
Well, yes, I'm part of a bigger community. I'm rich in a different way. You know? I feel at home.
So if the community is rich, you are as an individual are rich also.
I'm loved, and that is what makes me rich. When I'm loved, whether it is by a chicken or by a robins or the birds which are here, or by all these trees, you know, love is love. I really believe love is universal, and there's no difference between the love that you can have when you see this beautiful flower and you say, wow, it invokes in you that special love feeling, or the love which you feel when you see a beautiful person and you communicate with that person. So I think that if you open your heart to be able to receive love, then it can be given to you. And these are words which obviously you wonder, what does that mean? How can a tree give love? You'll just have to find out for yourself. I can't tell that to you. You'll just have to open your heart and see that, you know, you can feel at home, you feel at peace. And so in short, what we do here is try to reinstitute or renegotiate the relationship that man has with nature.
Mm-hmm. And I see some planting over there, am I right?
Yes. What we have over there is a permaculture garden.
Yes, but I wanted to ask you that already, permaculture. For a lot of principles of permaculture, it seems like can be found also in this kind of principles of the grid principles.
Yeah, most of it is design, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Principles. I myself am still new and learning a lot about permaculture, but what I can say is that ever since I've first seen it, I've felt it's so much more resonant to my who I am, because you don't take an individual plant and put it there and increase the yield by increasing the amount of inputs which will produce as much for that plant. But you see the plant again as part of a community of plants, and all the plants within the community, certain communities, certain families fit with each other. So you find a combination of different kind of plants which support each other, whether it is to fix nitrogen or whether it is even to repel insects, and these families, like basically what we're trying to do over there, we've just cleared the stones which were kind of limiting the growth of these trees, so we want to help these trees to grow better. But around these trees, and correct me if I'm wrong, these are oak trees, I think.
Yeah, could be.
And but what I do know is that
Yeah.
these trees, oak trees, have a specific family and a specific group of plants which surround them. And some of these are berries and these kind of things. So what we plan to do is to grow the family around these oak trees, but also to plan basically very carefully according to the conditions, how you plant and what you plant, because what you notice there is the slope, and when you look at where the sun falls and where the water falls, we actually decided on that's the place where we're going to grow these different kind of plants, because in this way we can use the natural flow of water to become some sort of naturally irrigated into the system, so that we don't have to use so much effort. I think that's one of the principles of
Less effort.
of permaculture. Less effort, not to be lazy, but to allow the effort of life to take over, not to put so much energy in trying to control things, but to let things flow as they flow. And that's why, you know, just like a river flows like this, it might not get there as quickly, but it has a reason for that.
So in the end, this system will function independently.
That is the idea. And so far, this is the second year. This is the second yield now. So we're just starting spring, and the idea is then that gradually the system starts to feed, to become more and more productive. But you're looking a long term. You don't want to get quick yields within 1 year, but actually you're improving the soil. Meanwhile, you're yielding according to the different plants, and you have so much diversity. I mean, here you can only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe see 12 different types of plants in one, and you have some of the natural plants which do grow here.
Yeah.
You call them weeds, but just like you know, they fulfill a function. That's why they come in that place, because maybe they're pulling up nitrates or they're fixing nitrates.
But you can eat that one as well. It's very bitter though, but you can eat it as a salad. Yeah.
Paardenbloem, hè?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can eat it. It's very bitter, but it's a very good medicine also for the liver.
Yeah.
So you find your medicines also here.
And your medicine finds you.
Yeah.
This is one of the, I don't know if it is part of permaculture, but something I've learned is that life is a gift. So this was a hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a hospital, normally there are sick people being healed, and I think that part of the healing and the relationship with nature and the reverence is to allow nature to give to you what it needs to give.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've noticed is when I'm sick, when I have a problem, if I'm open and I look around, it happens to be so that around me are growing the medicines that I need.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the things that we have to keep open to, that the things that we often call our weeds are actually the things that we need the most.
The wheat that we need.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much, Robin.
No